Generals, gentlemen.
We are in the Rift. This is OCE Weekly number 4, and we're going to have a damn good time. Over on our left-hand side, we, of course, do have Thermal Take Incendium. So that's Optic on the Wukong Iron, onto the Lulu Fedora Tip on the Gragas, the Final Hour on the Vayne Exalt onto the Shyvana. Over on our right-hand side, as our red hand team, as we've just got a bit of a pause coming out, we have Intex Gaming. So that's King Arthur on the Ezreal, Gotcha onto the NASA, 7 Strife on the Riven, Icy Flares' Thresh, and Wazzy Sheet onto the Elise. So we're jumping back into this game now. Pause is over and everyone's ready to go.
Yeah, we have a Spell Thief's Edge onto Iron's Lulu, and that is just a fantastic choice, because with the Spell Thief's Edge, you're rewarded for being aggressive and for getting that poke on the enemy champion. That's exactly what you want to be doing as the Lulu with that Glitter Lance aggression. Yeah,
it definitely is a nice pickup. They can offer a lot. So Flares, going for what we like to refer to as the hardware invade. Having that Thresh means you have the Death Sentence. That can be pretty damn powerful. They may catch onto Fedora Tip.
Got to be careful. They're moving away. The rest of the team on the chase there. Intex Gaming not able to secure a first blood, but will get the red by the looks of it here.
They're going to be positioning around there. We'll have to see if they decide to back off from this one. It looks like they will. Not managing to find anything off this. Something else to mention, the timers on the totems have been extended to 2 minutes now. That's 120 seconds. So earlier game invades are definitely more potential, but here we go. Optic has moved into the jungle.
Gotcha's by himself. He's caught between Fedora Tip and Optic, but will back away just fine for now. So looks as though Intex Gaming, they won't even go for the red invade. They were just looking for a kill.
Yeah, it looks like Blaze is off to the side as well with that Thresh. How are they going to deal with this? Exalt is still in the area, and looks like they're moving out to actually get onto him. Wazzy Sheet's there as well, but she's going around the long way. Exalt's still in that bush.
That's a tricky spot. They don't want to get caught between all 3 members of Intex Gaming, especially if Gotcha does decide to level up that Wither. That can really lock her down.
Yeah, will indeed. So it looks like Wazzy Sheet's just going to be starting on that red, and everyone's just going to calm down a little bit and go back to lane. Oh, actually, early aggression's coming up. Yeah, as I was mentioning, the extended timers on the Warden Cops means we will definitely see some more invades coming out now, because you don't have that safety that does come from having, you know, those 1 minute 30 wards, and you have them, 5 of them all over the map, and it's pretty much impossible to actually get anything off that. So
yeah, I definitely do like that change. So in the top lane, a very, very classic matchup here. We're going to have to see how it turns out since all the changes.
Yeah, we will indeed. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone decides to go for any level 2 aggression in that mid lane. 7 Strife, wouldn't surprise me if she did with that key strike. We'll have to see if Wazzy Sheet actually decides to go for that as well. Early damage, and actually decided to go for the dash as her second ability now. Not going for the key strike there.
So a fair bit of harassment so far here, but we do see Wukong getting his red buff. So afterwards, Optic's going to be ready for a gank, either in the top lane or the bottom lane, of course. So Flare is getting poked back pretty hardcore. It's really great aggression coming out of Iron's Lulu.
Definitely is, and especially until you hit that level 2, just having the Death Sentence available isn't nearly as good as having the Death Sentence and the Flay. So you do have a lot of poke potential, you know, with that Glitter Lance. In the bottom lane there. Top lane, Gotcha's already burned through his pot, and Fedora Tip having to use that body slam defensively once you get away from 7 Strife.
So there's a Doran's Blade for the sustain onto Excalibur, but the Doran's Shield and the inbuilt passive lifesteal onto Gotcha. So that's going to give him great sustain. But in the bottom lane, Wazzy Sheets, he's looking for a gank. Iron getting flayed back. Cocoon lands onto Iron, looking pretty dead to me. Nice ticking as well, and that is your first blood. Picked up by King Arthur.
King Arthur does secure that one. The Condemn wasn't quite in time. As you can see, the Cocoon landed just before the Condemn actually went out. Otherwise, that might have been the save there. But it's a very, very nice rotation coming through that try, despite the fact that both our junglers were on the same side of the jungle. Optic was in the area, but he went for the golems.
It wasn't there in time, and that was a very, very crucial timing indeed. So that's going to be a nice kill onto Intex Gaming, especially onto King Arthur of all people. That's going to speed up his BF sword.
Yeah, will indeed. Having those early kills is fantastic. Gotcha's getting zoned quite hard in that top lane now. Exalt's pushing right up, you know, with that the burnout pressure, it can be pretty damn intense. In the mid lane here, Fedora's going pretty well, but may get jumped on.
Yeah, out of mana as well, so got to be careful. 7 Strife is, of course, resourceless. Gragas definitely needing that mana.
Yeah, that he does indeed, and will get poked if he does use that body slam aggressively. He's going to get caught pretty much by all the broken wing strikes as well as the key strike. So we're going to have Wazzy Sheet moving for a little bit of a jungle invade. Our junglers are going to meet up near the rates.
Yeah, they will indeed here. Wazzy Sheet's on full HP. Optic pretty low, so got to be careful. Won't be able to trade very effectively. Cocoon doesn't land onto Fedora Trip. Nice dodging.
Well, indeed, so we should be fine in that lane. So just the one kill now over to Intex Gaming. Not a very big gold lead just yet, only being about 700. So lane is just going to be farming up. Flares is doing some nice zoning now onto that Thresh. Now he does have the level 3 available. Wazzy Sheet gets caught.
Looking for a gank, but caught by 3 members of Incendium. He's getting slowed down, and the exhaust as well, but Lantern's away just fine.
So the exhaust has now been burned. That's a fantastic landing. Coming out from Flash, keep him alive quite well. Ooh, gosh, is very, very low. XL, of course, still having that ignite available.
Very, very hard to dive, though, because of the Wither, so got to be careful of that one. Can't get too greedy and go for that. May need to wait for the Dragon's Descent.
I think that would be a pretty nice idea. We'll have to see, because I think Gotcha will hit Pure Sands just after the Dragon's Descent actually does come up, so we'll have to see what XL decides to do if she does hit that level 6 first.
Yeah, it may just go for the dive and then Dragon's Descent to escape, because the Wither won't affect the distance of the Dragon's Descent, where if she Dragon's Descent in for the kill, then it's going to be hard to actually get away from that turret when slowed.
Yeah, so Incendium still just being a little bit behind so far, falling a little bit behind just in farm in some respects. Definitely in the bottom lane, we see the main disparity there. Final hour, 15 CS against King Arthur's 44, so it's getting pretty extensive now. We'll really have to see Final hour start farming up a little bit more. She's just been zoned too hard by flares.
Fedora Tip has the Chalice of Harmony. That's going to be... Oh, but in the bottom lane, look at this engagement. Final hour, very, very low. Has to flash away. It's so close to dying and flashes in for that last auto attack. Fantastic work. But in the top lane, Exalt did manage to secure that dive.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. Having that Dragon's Descent first means she does have that power. So Gotcha's going to have that teleport up though, so probably won't miss out on a lot of farm. But nice mechanics there from Flares and King Arthur, both flashing for those final auto attacks.
Now, as I was trying to say, Fedora Tip has the Chalice, which will give him mana regeneration, but it won't give any resistance because it's mana regen, and 7 Strife's Riven of, course, physical, so that's not going to be as effective as you would normally see the Chalice.
Yeah, we have him backing up from this one, and in the mid lane, 7 Strife's taking a hell of a lot of damage early. Fedora Tip having some nice poke potential. We'll have to see if he decides to go for an explosive cast body slam barrel combo, but here we have Wazzy Sheik going to be caught up by a ward.
The ward will reveal Wazzy Sheik, so Fedora Tip's backing off for now. With the full rotation of Fedora Tip, that would be enough to nuke down 7 Strife.
Quite easily, so just be pro-porting from this one. It would be a nice idea to itemize up now. She does have that level 6 there. Giant's Belt going on to Gotcha now, so he's going to have a little bit more survivability in lane. Picking that up first can be quite nice. 7 Strife.
Going into the engagement, there is the explosive cast and the Ignite ticking. That's going to be a kill, no problems at all. He picks it up. 7 Strife trying to get some lifesteal off of the minion, I believe, but
yeah,
definitely getting
hard.
nuked down. And it was nice dodging of the body slam, but still, despite that, it was just too much.
Yeah, it was quite indeed. I'm surprised she did decide to stick around lane, but we'll be picking up that Brutalizer now, so having a little bit more damage there. BF Sword as well has now been picked up onto our bottom lane there for King Arthur, but only the Vamp Scepter on the side of Final Hour, being quite far behind the farm now.
The CS disparity in the bottom lane is insane. Not only that first blood, but 30 CS as well. Almost double the gold. So King Arthur's really having a fantastic time in that lane.
He is indeed. He's having an absolutely great time, but Incendium still, managing to pull it back in the top and mid lane. So if Final Hour can just get farmed up and hit that level 6, have some more survivability. Definitely once Iron does hit that level 6 as well and has the wild growth available, it's going to be a lot harder to kill Final Hour, and she might be able to try and see us a little more aggressively.
Key bursting over the barrel toss there. Really great harassment from 7 Strife. They're starting to have the better end of these trades, especially with that Brutalizer.
Yeah, it looks like on the side of Optic now, he's going for a bit of a farm game here on 50 so far, so hoping to hit that level 6 first, which he has done. I mean, he's level 7 now, so I would like to see some Cyclone ganks coming out of him as soon as possible, just to try and pull ahead in these lanes. There's definitely some potential there.
Yeah, Wukong isn't really the best ganker sort of pre-level 6, but once he does get that Cyclone, he has a ridiculous amount of kill potential. But Wazzy moving in, oh, it doesn't land the Cocoon. Fedora Tip burns the flash though.
Very, very nice defensive flash there from Fedora Tip. So stay alive and just keep CSing as well as possible. Build toward a Cutlass onto the Final Hour now, but that CS is getting out of hand in the bottom lane now. 27 to 74. King Arthur is pulling so far ahead in this game. That's incredibly dangerous for Incendium.
Not only the farm, but also the levels now as well. Level 6 for King Arthur, so he will have the True Shot Barrage, going to give him even more CS and trades there. So this bottom lane for Incendium may really be letting the team down.
Yeah, well indeed. Here comes the gank from Optic Sniper, but gets laid backwards.
Nice play. Will allow the knock-up onto the flares, but not King Arthur. There's a box as well, as Wesley Sheep moving in for a gank. Optic's incredibly low, and will burn. Nope, just survives that one. Gets taken out, rather, gradually. I think it was actually the caster minions.
I think it might have been too. Gotcha teleporting down to this bottom line, but 7 Strife going on the rotate down as well. Final Hour's going to get taken out.
Definitely 4 members able to secure the... No, that's 5. That's the entire team of Intex Gaming. So they're going to get 2 kills and the tower. There's Fedora Tip for Explosive Cask, a fair bit of damage, but not enough to secure the tower or any kills indeed. So that is a very aggressive rotate, but as a result, Xcult will take that top tower.
Intex just balling out of control there. A 5-man rotation to that bottom lane, and there's the power of the teleport. So Intex are going to be grabbing up this dragon now as well. Does secure it now.
That is a fantastic victory. Not only the kills tower, but also the dragon. So, look, fantastic play here. Exalt in the top lane is looking pretty strong though. Does have an extra bit of CS as well as that top tower, so won't be able to quite afford the Sunfire Cape. Has the Chain Vest and the Giant's Belt, but has the Vamp Scepter, so we'll have some more sustain as well.
Yeah, on the same side of Gotcha, he's moving towards his Sunfire Cape as well, so he's going to have a little bit more, survivability in lane, which can be quite nice. But again, this bottom lane King Arthur hasn't backed off yet, but when he does, he's going to get his Bloodthirst. He's going to get more on top of that. 3-0 and 2 now. There comes the True Shot Barrage, and he'll be backing up. We'll have to see what he decides to buy up.
It's a rather Season 3 bottom lane, isn't it? Vayne and Ezreal.
It is, definitely, yeah. Very interesting. It's normally, more the Lucian, Jinx, Sivir that we see coming out now, but no. It's a little bit different. Pulling out the Vayne, which can be quite nice. Fedora Tip, just missing that one.
Yeah, Fedora Tip has been fantastic at actually dodging these cocoons.
Fedora Tip.
Definitely so many ganks from Wazzy Sheep, but just not being able to land the cocoons really is keeping Fedora Tip alive. Having no deaths despite that much pressure from the jungle, because it means that Wazzy Sheep hasn't been able to gank bottom lane as much as he probably would like to do. Exile moving it onto Wazzy Sheep. 7 Stripes moving as well. 2v1 here for now, but look at the burst as Fedora Tip moves in as well. Blade of the Exile won't secure the kill, but flashing might do. 7 Strip now running for his life. Explosive Cast moving in. Exhaust and the Cyclone. That's going to be a kill for Fedora Tip.
Yeah, it will indeed. So managing to secure that kill is absolutely fantastic. Did ban a lot of ultimates, but it may allow Incendium to push down this mid lane.
Gotcha cannot hold this one despite that AoE on the ground. They're clearing out the minions, but not in time and not enough. So still 1k gold lead for Intex Gaming, but this is just a very aggressive roaming and rotation, really not playing the laning game, are they?
Yeah, they definitely aren't. Hell with the laning game, we're just going to rotate 5 members down to the bottom lane and members up to the top as well, securing kills where you can, getting those pickoffs there. So it's a nice rotation coming out, but we'll see who it pays off for, which team. But yeah, Intex is ahead still. It's just that 1k gold lead. It's been out for quite a while. I think the Dragon is still down for the moment, so we'll be spawning up in not too long.
So in the bottom lane, King Arthur continuing to just have such a lane presence. Also has the Bloodthirster, so it's going to be so much more difference of the AD. 190 AD for King Arthur, only 122 for Final Hour, let alone the lifesteal. So these bottom lane trades really will not be good for Incendium.
They won't indeed. I think they really have to get, Incendium really needs to get to that team fight phase where I feel that they do have the advantage. Once they actually get their Final Hour, just keeps farming up. That's going to be very, very nice. King Arthur is still there in that bottom lane. We need to see a rotation from Optic. He needs to come down and try and deal with that. He's absolutely balling out of control.
The other lanes are doing pretty well though. The top lane and the middle lane for Incendium, they are above in CS and they both have some kills. So we do see a pretty fast Hourglass coming out of Fedora Tip with the Needless Large Rod and Seeker's Arm Guard, but will back away just fine. Wazzy Sheep still not able to find the cocoon.
Yeah, just mistiming that minion wave a little bit there. So Fedora Tip just managing to jig through it quite well, but here we may see an engage.
Explosive Cast knocking back Wazzy Sheep into the tower, but there is a slow and the Dragon's Ascent. Will this be enough for a kill? Knocked up by the Wild Growth. Fantastic work by Incendium. That middle tower is already pushed. Will they go for the inner turret?
They may do. They're just going to be pushing up, and that is one hell of a big dragon there onto Excel, starting to push in now. And they're against X amount of members. I mean, King Arthur's still at the bottom, just farming against Final Hour and Gotcha. He doesn't have that teleport available yet.
Cyclone is available as well, but King Arthur will arcane shift over the wall, but he may get caught here by Iron on the Lulu, going for the slows. A lot of damage and a Cyclone. King Arthur incredibly caught. Lanterns away. The Flay and the box will keep him alive for now, but 7 Strife moving in. Iron's quite low. Optic getting focused here. The Ignite and the True Shot Barrage not enough. Look how low Optic is. Definitely trying to exfiltrate that one here. Flare is on the chase, but there is Gotcha for the Wither. And there, of course, is the Spirit Fire. That is another kill for Gotcha. Final Hour getting very, very low. Siphon Strike incredibly powerful. Tower shots are being fired, but a nice Death Sentence connects. And that's going to be no!
No, Final Hour's getting out of it.
The Final Hour on Final Hour for the stealth and the tumble there indeed. But 7 Strife will secure that dive. Gotcha, though, may pay for it with his own life.
Yeah, he may do, but Flares may actually catch him with the Lantern, but the Lantern just being a little bit too slow there. Gotcha just getting that teleport up in time, but it's going to allow Exalt to push down this top tower.
Still 1k gold lead here for Intex Gaming, but with Exalt battering down that top inner turret, that may even things out.
Yeah, this game is incredibly close, but definitely the Tower of Brandish Flares gets caught.
Federa tip against Flare. That's going to be a rather one-sided trade there indeed, but we do see 7 Strife and Wazzy Sheep moving in. There's a Lantern for this tape. Ignite's ticking as well, but will it be enough? It is indeed. And there's Iron as well. Wild Growth is going to be fantastic for the health. 7 Strife looking very, very low, shutting down King Arthur in the top lane. Exhaust onto Wally Sheep, repelled into the air, but will it be enough to secure the kill in time? So low, and it picks it up in the end, barely.
The last hit of that Neurotoxin just securing the kill. These fights have been incredibly close, but at the moment going in the favor of Incendium. There's so much chasing. Everyone just wants the kills there, and King Arthur getting caught very, very hard in that top lane. I'm not sure how it went down to Exalt. That's a little bit surprising.
Well, the Buildwater Cutlass was burnt by Exalt, and the inner turret was also destroyed. So it was pretty nice work there from Excal, and all of a sudden, the gold is now incredibly even. Fantastic timer on Dragon. Looks as though Incendium will take that one.
Incendium's going to secure this one. The True Shot Barrage going for the minions, not for the Dragon. There's no ward coverage out from Intex Gaming. No wards, like really, really at all at the moment. So they're all out for Incendium. So Intex Gaming really needs to get ahead in that ward coverage as Exalt gets caught by the Wither.
The only ward there was the pink ward on the Dragon, which was of course cleared out. So Exalt getting caught there by the Death Sentence and the Flay. That's looking like a dead Siobhan to me. Has to burn the flash, but will it be enough? Arthur picks him up. Federa tip getting very, very low Strife and Gotcha on the chase. That outer middle turret's looking quite dead to me.
Fury at the Sandsea go down onto Gotcha. There's a bit of poke coming out from Fedora tip, but it's probably not going to be enough. They may actually manage to secure the secondary turret off this one. They are going for it.
The issue here, look at the bottom lane, but Gotcha's very, very low. Fantastic cast, and the Cyclone only knocking up Wazzy Sheik. Not able to get as many knockups as required. King Arthur does drop though to the barrels, and so does our Riven here. Fantastic Zonyas, but the Death Sentence lands, and so does the Repel, but it won't be enough. Double kill for Optic.
Fedora tips alive from that one. I think you got the knockback with the body slam again. That's incredible mechanics. They're having the Zonyas just in time. That was awesome play.
Very, very clutch, and meanwhile, Final Hour was able to secure that bottom outer turret. I thought that would have been the downfall for Incendium, was having their bottom lane pushing, whereas there was 4 members of Intex going for the middle lane, and yet they held off and got kills and didn't give away any deaths.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Incendium's starting to really pull back in this game. The Final Hour, he's been farming up really, really strongly in that bottom lane, which is what you need to do on that vein, starting to turn into the late game, and now we're at a team fighting stage. Incendium just have so much potential.
Blade of the Ruined King will really, really help out in those exchanges here. And because Intex have been roaming around, it's left Final Hour to catch up on the farm that she has just ever so desperately needed.
Yeah, it will indeed. So let's just be backing up from this one, and everyone's just going to be farming up for now. Wazzy Sheik going for a little bit of a ward coverage there, which is do what we need to see. And there's a pink ward in that brush, so I think Wazzy Sheik's just going to clear it out though.
Gotcha now continuing to farm up, but look at his CS. It's almost the same as the bottom lane disparity. 149 against the 95. So does have the Frozen Heart though. That's going to give him a lot of tankiness against the AD heavy composition. You got the Vayne the Wukong, and the Shyvana's, I guess, is more ability power, but that will definitely slow them down and tank this. But there's Escal going in for a very, very deep Dragon Descent. Look at the box, though, slowing down Incendium here. Wazzy Sheep barely survives, but final hours on the chase. Cocoon landed, though, just in time. Explosive Cast did not. Flare is running for his life. Ignite's ticking, and will pick him up in the end. King Arthur will be next. He's going to drop. But no, maybe not. The barrier keeping him alive, and look at the Zhonya's Ignite ticking once again. Very confident in those Ignites there. Indeed, Gotcha will pick up our Lulu here. So Gotcha's doing pretty well. 2 kills, but that CS really is letting him down.
Yeah, he's into the backlines, but Gotcha may actually found a Shyvana there. Exalt's backing. Exalt gets caught.
He is getting slowed down. Gotcha just has too much damage and the life steal. Escal's trading pretty well, though. The 7 Strife will definitely even things up. Going into the tower, no chance for an execute.
Yeah, incredibly fast. Goodbye, Excal. You'll go down there to 7 Strife. And the gold lead, though, still definitely in the favor in Incendium. They did go very, very deep with that dive. Excal had a really fantastic Dragon's Descent, but it was a little bit too far away. The final hour couldn't quite catch up and do enough damage.
It really is a tricky sort of team comps here, because they're not exactly very good poke. Neither team really has much poke. Probably the best poke would be King Arthur's Ezreal, but that's it. That's really the only poke. And then there's the Death Sentence, but that's not like, there's no, you know, there's no Nidalee, for example. Nidalee, of course, was banned. So there isn't very good sieging, but there's just really good diving.
Yeah, there is very, very good diving. That's what we're seeing from both teams. It makes for a very interesting game. King Arthur's going through poke in this mid lane now. I'm actually managed to secure a tower. Gotcha gets caught, though.
He's going to drop incredibly fast. Red buff for the slow. Fedora tip picks him up. Out of position there indeed. Now Flares will not land the Death Sentence.
Yeah, quite far out for ward coverage there. I think that's where Intex Gaming are falling behind. They just don't have the real ward coverage that Incendium do have a lot of the time. They've got some good stuff around Dragon. They may force down this mid lane tower. In a
turret does drop it. Now they're in a tricky spot here. Optics moving in for the Cyclone. Gets a 2-man Cyclone. Nice work. Explosive Cast on cooldown. Flares will drop here. Who's going to be next? 7 Strife running for his life over the wall. Fantastic Dragon's Descent. Nice jukes from King Arthur, but it won't be enough. A barrel and a double kill from Final Hour. Really, really romping through these team fights.
Fantastic positioning there from Incendium. They came in the back line, and that is the fight they wanted. They wanted a nice grouped up team fight where you have the Cyclone Final Hours in there, and that was without the Explosive Cast. The Explosive Cast was on cooldown for Fedora Tip, and they still just absolutely romped through that team fight. On the other side for Intex, they're not looking for the team fights where they grouped up. They want more of an extended engagement where they can pick off individual targets, which means their objective pressure is going to be a lot less because they can't be grouped up.
Optics play's been quite nice. What he actually did is he dummied in for the stealth, so he wasn't revealed, and then all of a sudden, spontaneous Cyclone. If you do see the Wukong coming, you can split up and avoid the Cyclone, but when he's dummied or decoyed, you can't see him coming, and all of a sudden, half your team's in the air.
Half your team's in the air. I mean, the only thing you can add to this team fight would be a Yasuo, really. I mean, he's playing incredibly well, and we still have pressure coming out from Intex Gaming. They want this mid lane. They're just going to keep trying to force it down, but I think they have to get some more ward coverage and find some pickoffs so they have a much safer way of kind of forcing down objectives. They need more towers. A rotation up to the top lane would be good as well. You still got that primary tower, and that's just gold waiting for the taking, so Gotcha's moving up there now.
Dragon now spawning. Teleport not available. Good ward coverage, though, this time around, coming out of Intex, but it won't be enough to contest that Dragon. Now a 5k gold lead for Incendium.
Incendium really are starting to pull ahead, and it's starting to show, you know, with their item disparity as well. They're going to have some really nice team fighting. Exalt is probably going to be rotating up to that top lane now, so we'll have to see if Incendium do decide to keep pressuring down this mid.
I don't know if they can take it. Gotcha is recalling. That's going to be great, but it means for Incendium, if they do go for that long sort of siege, it's going to be a 4v5. But it looks as though X-Cult will just take out the minions, and they may continue to push. We'll have to see how they go for this one.
So Incendium, again, just easily defending their objectives. That's about the second or the third time they defended that top tower. Just really nice rotations coming out from them. So I would definitely like to see Exalt maybe, yes, he's going to back off and itemize up, or... Sorry, excuse me. Probably pressure down that top tower and try and come in from the back lines. He wants to find that Dragon's Descent onto the back line so he can shove in members from Intex Gaming, and Fedora Tip actually may get caught here.
He's by himself. Will body slam away just fine. Not enough chasing there. Really just not committing to the chase. The issue, I think, really for Intex Gaming is they don't have a lot of engage potential. their tank is Nasus, is Gotcha, and he doesn't really have a way to initiate. But they have a lot of single target poke with the Death Sentence, the Wither, and the Cocoon. But in all these team fights, it's always been a grouped up, those AoE CC ultimates go in, lock down the team, get the burst, and there just hasn't been enough sort of roaming and ward coverage to get those picks that their team comp suggests.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I felt that their team comp was going to go, but they haven't managed to find them yet. And now, you know, Incendium's just going to be moving, probably going for some Baron wards at the moment. Yeah, both teams just going to be positioning around that area. We are 25 minutes into the game, so Baron starts to be an objective you have to be careful of.
But now Intex Gaming, they're really looking for these wards, so they will have a lot better vision. This is going to be fantastic if they do go for those aggressive roams and try to get those picks, but it may be too late at this stage, because even if they do get a pick, the item disparity is pretty significant at this stage.
Yeah, it is definitely pretty huge now, and the final hour is really starting to scale up. Once she gets, you know, another item a little bit more damage, she actually decided to go for that early Phantom Dance after the Blade of the Rune King instead of picking up some more damage. So having a little bit more attack speed, which is interesting. For a tip, just missing that there, but may actually catch him with Explosive Cast.
Explosive Cast, but flashes over the wall here. Iron wants to find the slow, really committing to that engagement. The Explosive Cast and Dragon's Descent has been burned. So a 4v5 may be tricky for Incendium, but going straight for the Baron, a bold move. Will it pay off? It is, of course, revealed. So Intex Gaming, they know what's up. They see the Baron. Can they steal it? Where is the smite? It is taken out. Was he taking two-shot barrage? Won't take it out with no smite, no steal. And that is a Baron for Incendium. Fantastic.
That is really, really nice from Incendium. They knew. They took out the Elise onto Wazzy Sheet. No smite available. We can easily take this one. Even with those ults on cooldown, they probably still have the better team fighting capacity because they are grouped up in the middle there. They're not split up, so there's no pickoffs that can come. You know, there's no death sentences that can land from flares. So just back off from this one, itemize up, and then they can just start pushing down this mid lane.
There was a True Shot Barrage, but True Shot Barrage is actually really hard to get that steal because the more people you hit, the less damage it does. So you can never really judge the damage properly.
Yeah, you definitely can't. So, and it, of course, not being quite up there with the smite. So
Smite's pretty good.
Smite, look, it's not a bad ability. It's pretty good to have that up. So. The team's just going to be itemizing up for now. The Trinity Force did actually get completed there onto King Arthur, so there you go. You know, with that extra AP scaling, I like that we see the Trinity Force coming out there. So a bit of a hybrid build there, going for the Bloodthirster into the Trinity Force. So having a fair bit of damage, and definitely still has the CS advantage there. Has about a 50 CS advantage. Final Hour's been trying to catch up, but King Arthur still has the advantage there, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage if he can actually, you know, get these pokes off with some Mystic Shot and try and take out some squishy targets.
The item disparity, although the CS disparity is nowhere near what it used to be. It used to be double, and now it's 3/4, so...
Here we go, yeah, the mid lane pressure's coming out. Axel gets caught by the Cocoon, but that is not who you want. Pressure's still coming out, but I think they're just going to be waiting for the minion wave now, and Gotcha's off trying to get that top tower, but I don't know if that's the best idea now. He does have the teleport available, he's probably going to have to burn it.
It looks as though he will at this stage, but he really wants to take that tower down. So Incendium are backing off, not able to take the mid tower. But look at this engager going for fantastic angles. 3 sides to this engagement. Lanterns away just fine. And I really do like that because it means that the way they're positioning so aggressively and so split up, the back liners are always being exposed.
Yeah, they are. It's incredibly nice play. They're moving in from the sides around the jungle area, and there's no pickoffs here. So Final Hour's going to manage to poke down this tower, and we're going to have to see Intex give it up.
That is the inner turret gone. That's 2 inner turrets now. 5-3 towers for Incendium, but how effective will the siege be? Probably not the best, especially with the single target lockdowns that you do have coming out of Intex.
We're actually going to see a bit of a back off now. We do have 28 seconds on the Dragon, so obviously Incendium want to try and extend that gold lead out a little bit. Did back off quite early though, so some ward coverage around the Baron. Hopefully securing this Dragon as well. They're moving for it now. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not really sure what they're planning on going for here in Incendium. They're just positioning around the place, just going for a little bit of ward coverage, and yes, definitely going for that Dragon. They can do this. They've got a little bit of time on that the Baron buff now, so it should be enough to pick up that Dragon and then just continue pressuring down this mid. I like to see them try and get that inhibitor tower. They probably won't get the inhibitor, but I like to see them just keep the pressure up.
That's going to be a free Dragon, absolutely destroyed That's now an 8k gold lead, so Incendium definitely looking incredibly strong in this game. Gotcha continuing to push the top tower, but not able to get it. It's very, very low, so should get it quite easily.
Yeah, they will indeed. So Incendium, they're looking for the bottom tower, maybe do steal away the blue buff. So Exalt can just do whatever she likes. She's the BR's Dragon Lady, has the Randuins, has the Sunfire Cape. She's ready to go and can't be taken out. So drawing away 2 members to that bottom, and now the bottom tower's been taken out. Gotcha did get that top tower though.
But keep in mind, Escort may get a dive perhaps under the tower. There's a Dragon's Ascent, but they're repelled into the air onto a minion, but flashes in to pick that one up in the bottom lane. 4v2. Gotcha really may have to burn that teleport, or maybe he's just going to go for a very aggressive tower push. They do need to get these towers, and I don't see any other way to get them other than just split pushing despite losing their own towers.
Yeah, look, 3-man pressure down in the bottom lane though, so that secondary tower's going to go out, and Iron's just going to force off King Arthur for now. At the same time though, I definitely like the rotation coming out from Gotcha. He's staying in that top lane.
7 Strife will get quite low here. Lady the Ruin King is also on Exalt, so she's going to have a fair bit of damage on top of the ridiculous amount of tankiness. So you're really got to be careful. If she does dive onto the back line, she can lock someone down long enough and probably even duel with them.
Someone needs to deal with Gotcha now. Now he's getting dangerous. He's taken out 2 towers already, and we haven't seen the port or pressure coming out from Intex, and I think he's just going to get this port away. Fedora Tip's not going to come out in time.
Well, I think at this stage, Incendium are more than happy to trade towers.
Yeah.
Because they are finding it difficult to siege those towers down because of their team comp and the pretty good lane clear from King Arthur's Ezreal. So if they trade tower for tower, it'll work in their favor.
Definitely. They want to get as many towers as possible. They really don't have an awesome siege comp there. Neither team does, to be honest. So Incendium are definitely struggling to try and force down these towers and may, struggle a little bit to close out this game. They may just wait for the Baron. I mean, it's up again in 1:45. So once they get that, they do have the regen. So even if they get a little bit of damage down, they just continue sieging. There's no engage that can really come out from Intex that's really going to that will actually, worry them. So.
And looking at the late game, you have the strongest late game AD carry, Vayne. So I think Incendium are going to be more than happy to draw this one out if they need to. There is, of course, Gotcha's Nasus, but I think Vayne's going to be a much better late game carry than Gotcha's contribution.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So here we go. The mid lane pressure's coming out from Incendium, and that's some awesome poke coming out. And as well as the barrel clear, I have to say, from Optic on Fedora Tip, he's just clearing out the waves quite fast, and there's a lot of poke coming out on both sides.
They're poking pretty well, actually, but they got to be careful of the Death Sentence Wither and Cocoon. That can really lock someone down, and if they find one of the squishies, that will just drop, and that really could allow the team fight to go incredibly one-sided.
Especially if it's on final hour. Or in Fedora Tip, I mean, he does have that Zoni's Hourglass available, so we'll have to see how it goes. Another minion waves here.
Iron gets caught, though, but won't commit for the engage. Exile going for a lot of aggressive tower damage there, but no team fight. There's an explosive cask. Wasn't the best one, though, only hitting Gotcha. So as a result, we're going to see Incendium back away. They do need to land a very, very money explosive cast to get that tower dive.
The body slam stopped Wazzy's sheet from going backwards. The body slam was a little bit mistimed with the explosive cast, so the body slam stopped the explosive cast from getting the knockback there.
Well, that's a shame indeed, but Baron spawning soon. The ward actually just timed out. There still is another ward there, so Intex Gaming, they will have vision if they do go for the Baron, but not on the actual Baron itself. So they're going to have a hard time going for the steals. Iron's getting pretty aggressive with her positioning. Got to be careful. Does have the Mikhail's Crucible, which will be nice for that peel if someone does get caught, though, by the pick. So I do actually like that itemization. It's a very good choice.
Yeah, and here we go. Incendium maybe looking for a pick up here. They really want the engage. Optics up to the side as well. He has that Cyclone available. Will we see the engage here? Maybe not. Good movement from Intex. They're going to be backing off from this one. It's just an incredibly extended and close siege.
Gotcha, pushing the bottom lane, actually. Wow, so it's a 4v5. May go for the dive with the explosive cast. Look at the damage here. Final Hour takes out our Elise, going through the team incredibly hard. Really, really romping this one. And now Flares will not drop, but the inhib turret, and surely the inhib will. No minions, though. Shutting down Final Hour, though. Yeah,
Final Hour got caught way out of position, just dived a little bit too deep, and we could have seen the tower secured, and now maybe not. Exhalt's going for a little bit of damage there, but King Arthur may be able to force him off. Gotcha's just fully pushing like a boss. He's going to secure the inhib tower.
They got a really great dive, but they didn't go for the tower. They went for the kills, and they didn't get them. Iron barely recalls Exalt. will drop by the looks of it here, so that was disastrous. They lost in kills, but Gotcha got the inhib turret, despite a 4v5, diving in just a little bit too deep.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the kill onto Fedora Tip, but here we go, Fury of the Sands just wore out, and he's probably going to die from this one, but it's worth it.
Explosive cast just for the kill, so Fedora Tip really wanted it, and now Intex Gaming, they're going for the Baron, and the wards are cleared out. That siege and that dive really turning around the advantage here. Still a pretty big gold lead, but getting that Baron is a huge deal and will draw out this game. King Arthur's, they're going for this deal, but will it be in time? There is the smite onto Wazzy Sheet, and she will pick up Optic, now getting caught and absolutely bursted down. King Arthur will drop perhaps. Zonya's Hourglass keeping Fedortip alive, flashes in for the body slam, but won't find it. Excellent work.
King Arthur getting that arcane shift away, so absolutely no problems, and getting two kills, in fact, as well, onto both Optic and Fedora Tip. Way to turn it around for Intex there. Incendium really blew their advantage. They had the perfect tower dive, got enough damage down to get the tower, and then went for the kills. Fire went way too deep. Big mistake.
Tower and the inhib, but if they did secure those kills, they may have actually secured some of those Nexus turrets, so it could definitely have paid off if they were able to secure those kills. They were very close as well, all barely surviving nearby there. There's Summoner portal there, but the Dragon now will be taken as well. The gold is going to even up.
Yeah, Intex are starting to pull this one back now, so that's going to be... Ooh, here we go. Little Lance not quite going to get the steal there, but it's only a 1.6k gold lead. It was so much more previously, so King Arthur's going to be going out with that blue buff as well. So now with the Baron, we'll have to see what Intex decide to actually do with this. They now have the tower advantage. It's 7 towers to 6, so they have the tower advantage, and there's an exposed inhibitor down the bottom.
And Gotcha can shred through those turrets and the inhibs ridiculously fast with his Siphon Strike. It really is very powerful. We may see Gotcha go for the Triforce just to make his Siphon Strikes do a lot more damage, but for now he's just committing to a very, very tanky build set.
Which is quite nice. I mean, he's going to be in the front lines during these fights. Wazzy Sheet also going for a pretty tanky build, has that Sunfire Cape, and the Hoarding Geist is going to start moving to the Leander's Torment, which is the pretty standard pickup there for an Elise. Trisha Barrage going to be poking down the middle. Funel is just zoning up, and still Intex just going to be pushing down this mid lane from the looks of things. They still have the Baron buff up, so I think they definitely have some good siege potential here.
King Arthur's using the True Shot Barrage to just really get more and more CS, but it also means that the lanes are more pushed, so they don't have to worry about minions pushing up their lanes. Going in for the engagement, but Iron is very, very fast and will back away just fine.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the death sentence off in the end. Getting a little bit close here. Fedora Tip's probably going to be looking for the explosive cast. Can't find it just yet. We have the GA now onto 7 Strife, so he's going to be very, very nice in these team fights if he does go down. Going to come back up again, and it just has an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage as well.
And I do like that build set because 7 Strife went for a pure glass cannon build, and so with that, explosive cast goes in, but knocks Gotcha away. That is a very, very crucial, but Wazzy Sheet will drop here, so that may secure and allow some very aggressive play. But again, with the explosive cast on cooldown, their diving isn't as strong as it would be. SO really looking for a dive, but there is a box, and the Dragon sent nice knockup from the Wild Growth. Flare is getting quite low, and Excalibur will get low. Fantastic Cyclone there, really locking up the entire team. Zonya's as well, but Fedora Tip's very, very low and will drop to the ground here. Quadra kill coming out of 7 Strife. This may even be a Penta and an Ace, but Optic, scumbag Optic, will not give the Penta for now. Perhaps, nope, maybe he will. Pentakill!
Pentakill!
Yes! Pentakill from 7 Strikes. So much damage, and with the GA, you can't focus her down. With that ace, they may start losing several of these inhibs.
That Intex are in some serious, serious trouble. Pentakill now onto out 7 Strife. Congrats, that's fantastic. Diving a Baron up Intex when they already had, the Baron buff up for the regen and no explosive cast for Fedora Tip. Just not a good idea.
They really do need that explosive cast, but at this stage, 7 Strife has to be focused, but in doing so, it won't actually take her out. Then King Arthur will still be doing a lot of damage. That's the first inhib. Doesn't look... Oh yeah, they got the other one as well. So 2 inhibs now. The pressure is really going to be on to Incendium. They still will have very good engages because of their team comp and those powerful AoE ultimates. But now they can no longer rely on just having the better items because they're actually behind in gold.
Intex are starting to pull ahead in this game. So they've had the gold advantage for pretty much the first time in a very, very long time. And look, I just don't see a way that we're going to have Incendium actually try and pull this one back there. Really want a grouped up team fight, but they need to have the explosive cast and then just shut down 7 Stripe and King Arthur. King Arthur has the GA as well. Once the Wombos are actually burned for Incendium, then they lose a lot of their team fighting potential because the pick-off the comp from Intex is better. So sure, you burn the Wombos, you might get one of the GAs. Even if you get 2 of the GAs, they're just going to come back up again and lock you down because you don't have those ultimates available.
And even if they do defend their own towers, Incendium are still going to have a very hard time pushing down those towers. They need to get a kill in the open ground, or kills in the open ground, and then just hammer down those undefended towers, but both the Dragon and the Baron spawning in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, so we got a minute 50 out onto the Baron, so we'll have to see what Intex decide to do, where they're going to look for the pressure. They have 2 inhibs. If they can get a 3rd, it pretty much guarantees them the Baron, so they are rotating for the top lane now.
Will this be the team fight that Incendium are looking for? Final hour having to go to the bottom to take out the minion. That's going to be pretty crucial. Without Final Hour in those team fights, it's really going to suck. But King Arthur continuing to poke.
Yeah, he's poking down and pressuring down that mid lane as well. Because it's going to draw members off. Final Hour has to move to defend the bottom now. Gotcha's going to be moving in. They're starting to push up the minion wave up the top, and here comes the rotation. King Arthur's coming up as well as 7 Strike. They're going to try and get another inhib.
And with that Bloodthirst, King Arthur has a fair bit of sustain. He is pretty squishy in his health, but having the GA makes him so hard to focus. Going in for the engage, perhaps. Nope, not getting it just now. There's explosive cast and knocks Gotcha back. Fantastic. That is the explosive cast we want to see, but will it be enough? 7 Strike doing a lot of damage. GA is burnt for 7 Stripe in the middle here. Gotcha still alive, taking this one well. Flares does drop. Who's going to be next? Optic will be the next one to drop, and look how well this is going for Incendium. King Arthur has to flash away. 4 for 1. That is the power of that 4-to-1 explosive cast. Ezreal will drop though to King Arthur. GA still available here. It has been burned, and will Federatip burst him down in time? I don't think the barrel actually landed, but the body slam was enough.
The body slam definitely landed there, so well done, Incendium, pulling this one back very, very well. But are there too many minions in the base for them to go for the Baron? It's 20 seconds now, 30-second death timers on the side of Intex. What are they going to decide to do here? There's so many super minions because they have lost those 2 inhibs. I'm not sure whether they can actually get the Baron.
Was Final Hour in that team fight?
Yes, I think so. I didn't see where they could pull it off. As far as I'm aware, he actually rotated up after he cleared the bottom lane there. So that's the Wombo power from Incendium. They just completely bursted down their carries because 7 Stripe and King Arthur, they have to be grouped up. They had to be grouped up to try and force down the tower. And then, hello, you got a Wukong and you got a Shyvana right in your backlines popping those GAs.
And Gotcha is the worst target to get the knockback. But even then, it was just so great because Gotcha, an absolutely tanky machine, but did drop incredibly low at the start. So had that been any other target than Gotcha's Nasus, it would have been even more of a romp.
Would have been even more of a romp if that's even possible. So here we do have the Baron positioning coming out now, and the lanes are a little bit pushed out here for Incendium, but the Tree Shot Barrage comes through, and that's going to melt down the minion wave. No, it looks like Intex may be backing away from this one.
468 extra damage on the Siphon Strike, so we'll be doing a fair bit. I do like the Sheen as well. Gotcha having the Sheen to have that extra damage on the Siphon Strike, and may now build towards a Triforce, perhaps even an Iceborne Gauntlets.
Xcult does, of course, have that GA available now, so the Dragon Lady will be coming back up again if she does go down, because she has been diving quite deep during these team fights. And the same again for Federatip. Everyone's loving these GAs at the moment.
Yeah,
Stunning GAs were coming out all over the place, and add to that King Arthur's and 7 Strife, they're going to have the GAs on cooldown for quite a while. That really limits the team fighting potential from Intex when they don't have those GAs. So I'd like to see some Baron positioning from Incendium.
Especially because 7 Strife is purely glass cannon. Without the GA, there is nothing keeping her alive. King Arthur, he has a Quicksilver Sash, but he also has like the best stealth kill in the game, the Arcane Shift. But, you know, he's ranged. He can sit in the backlines doing damage. What can 7 Strife do? Has to get in melee range. And with pure glass cannon, she will just get absolutely bursted down. And they really do need to have the damage from 7 Strife to win those team fights. The pentakill was 7 Strife. So that really could be the issue, was when the GAs are on cooldown, it's going to be hard for Intex to engage.
So here we go, the lanes are pushed out now. The inhibitors have respawned, so Incendium are going to be going for this Baron with 2 GAs to the side of Intex, none.
This is incredibly on one side. There's explosive cast. Wazzy Sheep is knocked back, but flashes away. Dragon's Descent not able to get in range. That is a bit of a blow there, not having those ultimates, but still, the Baron definitely isn't unrealistic, but they do want to secure a kill, especially Wazzy Sheep. If Wazzy Sheep did get bursted down, that would have been fantastic because there goes the smite.
Definitely would too, but she's been caught out of position so much, going for a little bit too aggressive warding without a lot of backup. We really need to see the Dragon's Descent, the explosive cast come off cooldown now, and we're not too long on the GAs.
GAs, it's a pretty long cooldown, but
we're a little over a minute, I think, now on the 2 GAs for King Arthur and 7 Strife. So if Incendium want to do something, they have to do it now.
But look at the pressure that Gotcha is now applying, and he can do that because the Dragon's Descent explosive cast have been burnt. I don't think he would have gone for that split push if those ultimates were available, but going for the Baron now as well. He's teleporting onto the ward. That's fantastic here. Baron's very, very low. Look at the knock-up coming across the board. Federer tip takes out Elise, and there goes Gotcha. Baron still there doing a lot of damage. Double kill. Incendium looking very, very well. 3 for 0 now, and that is the Baron for Incendium. Fantastic work there, despite those ultimates being... Actually, no. Dragon's Descent did come up just in time.
Yeah, just in time there, which is, you know, pretty fortunate that they did have those ultimates available for the Baron fight before the GAs came up now for King Arthur. So, very, very well played there by Incendium, timing out those GAs, and now they're going to be pushing down this mid lane, going for the tower.
Yeah, this tower's going to drop here, and so will the in here. Also, Exile pushing down the bottom lane, so all of a sudden looking pretty well. About a 6k gold lead for Incendium. GA spawning any minute now for King Arthur.
Yeah, but they're moving looking for the finish here. King Arthur's trying to get as much poke down as he can. There's the play backwards.
Optic very, very low. Survives this one just fine. There's a Nexus Towers and probably the Nexus as well. The explosive cast to keep King Arthur back, and that is the Nexus destroyed. Fantastic in-game by Incendium here, really playing that one well. Back and forward, didn't unfortunately give away that dive, but they came back from that. That wombo was just so strong.
They ended up just rolling in the game, despite that, you know, the failed dive in the end. Instead of just pulling ahead in this game and securing the game because of, you know, that wombo team comp, and they're fighting around objectives. Good job from Intex, though. They played a good game as well. I thought they had it as well after that pentakill. They started to really pull ahead and then just fell behind in the end.
Yeah, I think the glass cannon itemization from Ruven, it's very hit and miss. If 7 Strife didn't get focused, it really can just do a ridiculous amounts of damage. But once the GA was popped, just not enough to keep her alive for now. But that'll wrap this game up. We'll be back shortly with our next game. Really, gentlemen, thank you for watching.
Thank you.